Joho, Johui no so mes von Drodi, Saturn Journey Solier, no, Saturn Bell Journey Solier, Porun Promenade, LaSalle as blue and clear. Very nice sky. I love. So this type of weather, along with the temperature for today, is perfect. It's chef kiss perfect for me. Like this is I won't say the hottest that it should be, but it's just nice. It's nice, it's windy, nice clear blue sky, a little bit clouds here and there. A little clouds is alright, but I love like this, like literally clear skies. And of course, if when it hits at night, we hardly see stars, which makes me a bit sad. But if we get to see the stars as well, ooh, wonderful. It is 10 out of 10. One of the best place, not to say to retire, but to live your life off, to the rest of your life. So it's nice. And of course, I would like to stay in the beach, but there's a lot of things as well. Stay in the mountains. Ugh, I can stay at almost anywhere with a good adaptability as long as I get clear blue skies. Anywhere that is downy, cloudy, downy and moody, that's not good. Anyway, back to French practice. So, comment aujourd'hui, ça va bien avec-vous, femme? Je femme. Que mangez-vous pour dîner? What else? This is où est l'on? Yes, où est l'on is je vis magasin de jouets. Yup. Il est 6 hours, il est 6:30. Yeah, we need to say 6:30. We need to update our time thingy. Yup. So that's that. Anyway, parlons anglais. Alright, first thing first, we're gonna hit the Toys R Us on a Friday to see this. Well, I saw there's some new products, and that's the reason why we're gonna talk a little bit later while we do our zoom around. Yep. Alright, gonna go in and see if I can, what do you call this? Survive. Yep. Alright, so finally came out in Toys R Us, and I can safely say I bought nothing, which is fantastical. And talking about that, so we're gonna talk a little bit about the upcoming purchase per se. So I've caught wind about lightsabers. This time it's physical lightsabers, not a collectible digital. And it's, to me, I think it's the most important, but it is a good opportunity. It is Darth Vader's lightsaber, and of course we got Obi-Wan's lightsaber as well. Sadly, if I were to buy both of them, they will end up close. No, I think plus tax and everything, $1,000. One of the sad thing, because $1,000 can do so many things. It is sad, but to me, other than Lego, even Lego, I stayed from away as much as I can. Tough choice. But for this one, I think I'm gonna roll with it because it is Darth Vader, it is Obi-Wan, it is detachable hilt, detachable blade, so we can just have the hilt only. Partially, it is one of those things that I think it is worth buying and collect one day. Actually, I was watching a lot about that electric unicycle. No, EUC electric unicycle. Huh, okay. So that's apparently it's unicycle. It's supposed to be one word though. Unicycle. Anyhow, so Obi-Wan and Darth Vader is most likely one of my must-have on the list. I already got Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker is undetachable, the blade, which is sad. I want it to be detachable so that I can have all the 3 lightsabers in the Star Wars trilogy. Yeah, no, that's it. That's the only thing that I care and I can collect and I can display. That's probably my only thing that I don't mind displaying for the long, not say for the long run, but something that I don't mind buying and display and use it as a conversational piece per se. Loons dance ourselves. Okay, so that's that. And we've been staying off from buying digital collectibles as best as we can since Boba Fett. And guess what? The price tag for Boba Fett kind of went down. Boo hoo hoo, because I paid $160 for two. At least I got one, the most highest rarity, so the value retains. The other one I could have gotten in half price. Again, these are not to say short-sighted, but one of the things that I don't know, it's tough. Like, because of whatever I've learned this buying, right? It's hard for me to recommend to anyone who is paid. I'm not gonna bother recommending to people anymore, right? Because like Darth Vader went up in price, like, then Boba Fett dropped down like so bad, very very bad. Makes no sense. One of those things that makes no sense. Right. Anyway, again, these are for long-term strategy. So I want to pick up a few things actually this month, collectible wise. I want to pick up Supergirl and Wonder Woman again. They are just not say worth picking up on my terms, but they are cheaper than retail, and I think they are well sculpted in a way. No, they are well sculpted. Especially Supergirl, well sculpted versus the previous or other Supergirls that they have launched. But the price tag, some of them went down so bad. It not say no confidence. Like, it gives me no confidence on the collectibles anymore. But that's the good part, because you want to get them as cheap as you can, and then when it goes above retail, which is like 10 years down the road, 5 to 10 years, then you'll be laughing to your bank. But then again, it's some of these are, you have treated these are products, like real world products, because, as example, Pokemon cards, when it came out, nobody cares. Like, they gave a very unsubstantial price tag, in my opinion. Sure, it was like 100 ringgit for Charizard, because it is 120 ringgit for Charizard back then, right? Because it was it has the number of 120 HP, 120 damage or something like that. It was one of the highest damage dealer of something. And then other cards like Blastoise, $80, Venusaur about $80 or $50, Mewtwo I think about 50 or 60, and ended up very cheap. Like, you could get a deck back then, right? Like $500, 5 to 600 ringgit, sorry, not dollars, ringgit. You get a nice set to play with, and that was back then, right? Sure, back then 600 ringgit is expensive. It's a lot of money. 120 ringgit for a piece of cardboard card, it is expensive, I have to agree. But now, today, if you keep it pristine, if you go for it, if you grade it, it's not $120. See, thing is, it's not even $120. It could be more. Even though it's at $120, you're getting 300%. What do you call this? Profit. But imagine 120 ringgit become 120 US dollars. That's 400%, 4 times the profit. And what, within a span of, okay, let's put it 20 years. 25 years? 25 years, okay, let's put 25 years, because Pokemon Celebration 25 years already, that was last year, so let's put it as that. So tell me if there's any investment that has a 400% return within a span of 25 years, I would go for it, right? Because if, let's say, we were to use a typical profit return, okay, that's about 20, okay, let's use the highest margin, whatever mutual fund. A lot of people say, oh, it's good, 15%. In fact, I'm going to put it to 20%, right, just for the sake of it. 20% in 10 years is 200%, okay? So in 20 years, 400%. That's the reason why I'm using that. And of course, 25 years is Yeah, it's 500. It's close to 5. But yeah, it is 500% increase. Now we all know, when we look at all the charts of all the mutual funds within the past 10 years, just pick any one, right? Just pick any one up. Anytime, any year, pick a 10-year gap, and you will see none of them will surpass 20% per year. Right? Sure, there'll be 1 or 2 years it will go 20%, but average, no. There is zero portfolio that I've seen so far that has a 20% return, unless if you're talking about house. Now house is on a tricky thing, whereby land, so far I've seen it's close. Okay, no. So this one you have to hold on a little bit longer. So I'm going to use Malaysia for example. But again, it wasn't a true. Actually, it's close. It's close. So one of the most popular places in KL, Kuala Lumpur, is obviously the city centre. But it only applies to city centre. If you apply it elsewhere, it slows down a little bit. So obviously the city centre, it goes up, it booms. I don't have the actual number, but I can easily say that during the 80s, okay, remember 80s? Yeah, no. During the 80s, 70s, people can buy easily 100 felt a bit cheap. I'm going to say $250,000, right? Prime estate in Kuala Lumpur. Again, 250k back then is a whole different. Having a $250,000 in the 80s is a big deal, especially in Malaysia, right? I'm going to admit, a $250,000 is a big deal. Having $1 million, even a bigger deal. So most of the, I won't say prime estate, but most of the general prime estate in Kuala Lumpur most likely is in between $250,000 to $500,000, easy, right? Obviously, if you get a prime like Golden Triangle, yeah, 1 million, 2 million. That's okay. We don't go to the main road, so yeah, easily 2 to 3 million. I'm gonna say hands down. Now, $500,000, $250,000, and then some. Then after that, 20 years later, this one I know. 20 years later, same location, you can sell up to, right, $1 million or $2 million. So in my opinion, that's actually a very good bump. And do note that is 20 years, right? 20 years real estate, and that is only selectable areas, because it is funny, that small neighborhood, sure, you can get a house. Okay, if you don't renovate your house, if it's just raw land price, then yeah, you probably earn triple, yeah, 400%. There is possible. 250k becomes $1 million or $2 million by just a piece of land. But no, you can't do that. You have to renovate, and when you renovate, of course, price goes up, profit goes down. But still, only selectable areas you can get easily 400-500%. Now, this is the catch. If you accidentally, or not to say on hindsight, right? Let's say you, let's say, using history, if you bought the neighboring neighborhood of the prime estate, guess how much the price tag is? It actually didn't kick off, right? At most you get back is 100%, double, right? Double your money, at most. And that is just because you bought a neighboring estate or a neighboring plot of land. Remember, it has to be land, right? If you're talking about apartments, no, it has to be land with a house. Malaysia, there's a few prime estate that has that, and that's it. Like having, and that's real estate only. Investment and all those stuff, yeah. And at the same time, it is tough. Sure, it is tough. Same goes with comic books, same goes with everything. It's just not every single thing. It's just 1 or 2 very cherry-picked items, and it's one of those things you never know. It's like buying a lottery. It is as good as buying a lottery when it comes to land as well. So I have to be careful. This one little thing that I learned when you buy real estate. It's not just buy. And of course, I would always say buy land. buy land that has multiple use. Previously it was just buy land. I said, okay, buy land, then let it go. And then once I learned a little bit more, I said, oh no, you want to buy a plantation land, a rubber plantation for example, because you can grow rubber. You just buy a land and the land grants you stuff and then you can sell the land later. Unfortunately, it's tough for me to buy. That's why I come here. Or rather, when I come here, that dream is much more plausible. Actually, more reason to get out of Malaysia. Actually, that's one of the small little things. Getting land. Anyway, I know I talked about long-winded about buying stuff, and this time I'm putting more money. I won't say put more money. I'm just focusing more on collectibles and comic books, and that's about it. Alright, time to do some zoomies. Je te very domain. Yeah.